Right folks, so how's it going? So in this one, then what I'm doing now is I'm actually painting my gun up. As it was in a two-tone colour, it was in red plus the sort of tan colour. But what I've done is I went to a shop not far from me, and I purchased a can of black camouflage paint and also a can of green. And as you can see there, I've taken the front stock off, the suppressor. I've done a bit of the handle and the front sight there, and then also what I've done is I've sprayed up just the butt end of the rifle. The rest of it I've taped it up and put it inside a bag, allowing it to dry. And then what I do, I'm going to masking tape up all the prominent bits in there that obviously I don't want to get covered in paint and everything else, and not going to cause an issue to the gun. I'm going to spray that with the green, and then I'll eventually be finishing it off with the black. So obviously, as a, you know, if you're using solvent paints, I'm probably stating the obvious now, but obviously spray it in a well ventilated location. I'm doing it in my shed against a piece of cardboard there, an old piece of cardboard. I did have the door open. I've only just shut the door really just so that the neighbours can't hear me talking to myself. And then on top of that, all I've done is I've put on a pair of gloves. You can wear face masks and everything else, but I haven't done that. Preparation wise, I literally just wiped everything clean, got everything nice and clean, made sure there was no dirt and dust and all that kind of stuff in the areas that I wanted to spray. I haven't primed them up or anything like that. I've literally just sprayed the spray onto the parts that I've showed you from a short distance. I just give it a nice covering of spray paint, so obviously I don't want it dripping or anything like that. And of course it's still quite cold as well really, so it's going to take a little bit of time for it to dry, so I didn't want to go too thick with it. A little bit closer inspection of the furniture on the stock. That's not too bad. I still obviously don't want to touch it because it is still a bit tacky at the moment. For me the battery goes in that end, so obviously I didn't want to get any spray paint or anything in there, so I kept everything obviously this side of the stock. If I actually show you, I'll take the tape off. I mean, you can use masking tape. On the first instant, just to do this, I used a bit of insulating tape, but when I do the actual main furniture, I'm going to use obviously masking tape. So let's take that off now. So obviously I've done that obviously just to keep the main furniture of the gun needs to be covered in spray paint. So as you can see there now, if you can imagine, the stock will go over that. Okay, and then the suppressor goes over all that and screws into there like so. Alright, so obviously I'll be I need to look at the parts now that I want to mask up, that I don't want any other paint to get on. So I think I'll get away with these. I think I'll get away with all this. I mean, I'll probably stuff some material into there so that doesn't get obviously covered in paint. I will cover over this section, the ejector, even though it doesn't really play a great deal in airsoft. It's more for the detail, but I still want to I'll still cover that over. Oh, I think you just ate it trying to get this tape off. Right. So if I pull that off there, I mean obviously that's the working parts in there, so we don't want to get that all covered in paint really, not if we can help it. So what I'll do then, ideally what will come in handy right now is a sharp scalpel blade, but I haven't got one to hand, so I'm just going to have to do the old Mark 1 tear. So I literally just want to cover up those areas there. you know, I mean, it's just a little bit of sort of common sense. I mean, as I say, I'm just learning myself with this. But for my first time, I want to do a good job of it. I'll take the sling adapter off so I don't get that covered in green paint, really. I mean, I've got the guy that gave me those face bits, the face guard and all that, and give me another sling, but ideally I like the one that I've got. So the only thing is with this, it can be a little bit fiddly. They say don't work with kids, don't they? Kids and animals when you're doing. I think sure these locks will come into play and all. I don't believe that it's caught right on the end now. Flipping heck. Well, they made that easy, didn't they? Or I made it easy, more like. So anyway, I've just taken it off as well now. Obviously don't want to get that covered in paint. What I'm going to do is I'm going to masking tape up that. I don't want that getting covered in paint. I'm not exactly sure why. It might not do nothing for it. It literally is just because the fact that the stock is extendable anyway, but I don't really want to get that all sprayed up in green at the moment, I don't think. So I'll obviously masking tape that up. And what's happened, the masking tape was all torn and frayed on the ends. Now honestly folks, that masking tape is giving me an hard time right now. It keeps tearing off. We might be lucky now it's on camera, now it's live. You might not want to make a mistake. Yeah, look, it's tearing up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the electrical tape. So I'm literally just going to wrap all the furniture up there that's in black that I don't want to be covered in the green paint. Let's turn it around there a bit more. I know it's probably cheaper to use masking tape, but that's giving me a bit of jip, that, so I'm not gonna fanny around with it. I'm just going to use this electrical tape because it's convenient right now. Okay, so we've got that done up there. Sling I'm not too fussed about. With the sling swivel I'm not too worried about that being green. Obviously the sight's going to get it. Cocking handle, I don't suppose that will matter too much. I'll only go lightly on that anyway. No, that doesn't really move as such. Magazine release catch, I suppose that could have some on it, couldn't it? I'm going to put some on here as well, just on that little spot, just to avoid getting into any of the workings. If you know, if it is that done, I've sort of taped up all the things that I thought that might need taping up. Don't think that does. I'll only give it a light spray anyway. I looked at stuff that where there was like threads, you know, threads and stuff to be screwed on, so I didn't want to obviously arse about with them as well. So the rest of it, where the suppressor goes and everything up this end, I've just literally covered it back over with a bin liner. And then so as you can see on that side, I've covered over all the bits. That I don't know, I'll probably, no matter why not, just cover it over a bit. That's just a bit of Velcro that I had for my remote light that I had on there, but I had some technical issues. It was an old light that I used for air rifle shooting, and there must be a loose connection in there or something, but that masking tape's beat his hard work for me really. So now I'm just going to cover up the I want to cover up obviously the magazine housing. I don't want to get no paint in there if I can help it. It's obviously got working parts and that up there as well, haven't you? And that's where the BBs feed. So last thing I want is to start having issues with that in regards to that sort of thing. Right, let's just cut that off at the end there. And it really is just protecting it from obviously anything going inside the working parts. Okay then, so in for a penny, in for a pound, we're going to give this a spray now, the main part of the gun. So that's pretty dry now, so as you can see I've sort of, you know, that's pretty much, some of that's done in there, but it's obviously going to need another spray because I did it quite light. So do that green first. Probably not the best thing to be doing it in shorts, is it? I wouldn't have thought. Probably look like the Incredible Hulk later. Stick your fingers inside. Well, I think that looks pretty good to go now, so I'll just stick that down out of the way. Oh, there might be another bit there actually. I've just given the suppressor another coating, but as you can see I've taped up the ends there. Okay, stands to reason. We don't want to get the barrel all snotted up there. Stick a bit on the end there. There's my handle. I haven't gone too mad with that actually. I've really just given it a very light spray just to subdue it slightly, because there's going to be some black going on there as well, and at the end of the day it's going to be sort of like camo as well. So same again with that, I've only given it a light, very light coating with the spray. Okay, and as you can see I've even missed a bit of the front there, so I'm really not that too fussed, if I'm honest. But let's get on to the main part of the gun, eh? Okay, so here it goes then. Let's give the top a go. And what I'll do once I've finished spraying, I'll literally just give the nozzle a wipe so it don't get blocked up. That first spray didn't come out too bad. Quite chuffed with that. Yeah, there are little bits missing, but I'm not really too fussed about that, if I'm honest. Because obviously I'm going to spray the black on there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything back together now before I spray the black. So you can see now the compressor goes over the whole length of that brass bit, so I'm going to take the end off now and still leave the end one on, and then that goes all the way down and then screws onto that thread there. Alright, so that's that bit done. Now, so to work out where the threads are. It won't really matter too much on that, just thinking about it. So what I've done was I've actually put the little bolts, actually hold that in place. So I've got a little kit now that I've started to put together with a spare battery in it. That's the screwdriver to Jake's battery cover for his back cover on his AK. So I'm just going to take them off now. And this can go back on now. Come back to it. Oh, I seem to be having trouble getting that on for some reason. Don't really know. Oh, there we go. Maybe there is a way that it goes on. So literally just tie them Allen keys back up. Do the same again with the other one on the other side. There is still a bit of tackiness there, but I did actually watch a video of, I believe, is it Garand Thumb, American guy that does a lot of weaponry and stuff like that, and I was watching one of his videos where he was using, where he was spraying up a gun, and what did I want to say? And he used like a bit of mesh, as it were, to put like a checkered sort of look to it. Now, initially, I'm going to just use, I'm just going to use the black, but I might put that mesh on it in time. But we'll see how it goes. At the moment, now I'm just putting the leaf sight back on the slide rail. Okay, so there we go then. So that's the first coat. I'm still going to leave the masking tape on now. I'm not really going to, now when I spray it up, I mean obviously that pipe at the barrel in there is black, so I'm not really going to, again, I'm just going to literally give it a spray in places to give it that sort of camouflagey sort of pattern. So yeah, let's get on with it. So obviously what I've done, obviously now you've seen that I've got the olive drab colour, that's sort of like my base layer. And then what I'm going to do now with streaks is just put some black on. Splash some paint off the bottom there. Okay, so I'll leave that. I don't think that's come out too sad, do you? I'm quite pleased with that, if I'm honest. So folks, there it is. I've still left a couple of the masking bits on there just in case I want to do that mesh sort of finish on it, but I don't think I will at the moment. I'm quite chuffed with how it is right now. Right, so there it is, folks. Alright, so thanks for watching. Leave your comments below if you've done your guns yourself, or if you sprayed anything else for that matter. I did watch another video actually of some American guy, name escapes me right now, but he MTP'd a water bottle, like an Nalgene bottle, and oh my god, did it look good. I was well impressed. So I've got some spare spray paint now, so I'm just going to go out on the walls. I'm not really. I'm really chuffed with the result of that. So again, leave your comments below and all the rest of it. If you want to subscribe to the channel, I deeply appreciate it, especially airsofters or anyone else for that matter. It doesn't really matter. Alright, so take care, folks, and I'll see you on the next video.